It is a pleasure, as always, to be a part of yet another amazing GSC Summit. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to this morning session on how you could possibly expand your business globally with Google's Market Finder. My name is Petia Abdur, and I'm presenting from you live from Harlem. I am particularly excited to be a part of today's presentation because it is the Latin Future Summit, and I was actually born in Guyana, which is in South America, and I lived in Venezuela for many years. So this summit has extra meaning for me. In case you're unfamiliar, Grow with Google helps people across the United States to grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering free digital tools and training and access to resources, usually in collaboration with partners like GSE. In today's workshop, you'll learn about Google's Market Finder, which is a free tool that allows you to identify new potential markets, discover helpful operational information, and to start selling to customers at home and, of course, around the world. This is today's agenda. We'll start off by discussing the benefits of exporting, and then we will explore how Google Markets Finder works, including how it can help you to explore markets, plan operations, and advertise your business to a global audience. As always, I'll close out the session with a really quick recap and some additional resources that you can access on your own time. First, let's start by setting the foundation and exploring some of the reasons why you should consider exporting, and maybe if exporting is a little bit too much in terms of an international landscape, maybe just expanding your footprint within your own country. Today, nearly 5 billion people are online around the globe. And because of this, the opportunities to find and engage with new customers are limitless. What's more is that customers aren't really as concerned as you might think about where a business is based. And when I explain this, I like to say, for a minute, let's take off our business owners' hats and let's think about ourselves as consumers. Think about the businesses that you love and support, and ask yourself if you've ever really questioned exactly where they were located. What we're all concerned about, right, is the quality of the service, the quality of the products, and the overall possibly mission of the brand. In fact, there was a survey that was done that proved this. And what the survey found was that 96% of people really didn't know that Booking.com, which is a very popular service, is actually located in the Netherlands. And of those people, 90% said that the fact that they are located in the Netherlands really didn't matter at all. All they were concerned about was the quality of service that they experienced. So, with that being said, if you have an online business, you naturally have the ability to expand globally, and it has become so much more easier to do this in today's global environment. Simply put, exporting can strengthen your business. Exploring new markets puts you in a position to attract customers, which can then lead to business growth and, of course, more revenue. In addition, exports, small business exports contribute significantly to the US economy. And according to the US Chamber of Commerce, exports generated about $541 billion in output in 2017, and as a result, supported more than 6 million jobs. Also, according to the US Small Business Administration, 96% of consumers live outside of the United States. I bet you guys weren't expecting that, right? So think about the potential for growth if you expand, even if it's just maybe one additional country, right? And that will become more exponential as you explore and expand into even more markets. So, global markets open up access to things like additional resources, a new base of customers, and possible advantages over your competitors at home. You also may get access to a multinational talent pool, as well as government incentives for businesses investing in certain regions of the world. Simply put, it no longer takes years for a business to go global. If you're a small company in an unusual sector, don't be put off by the fact that maybe this does not apply to me. Two out of five companies with fewer employees than 10 people are already doing business in at least one high growth market. So, this really is for everyone if you're smart and strategic about this. Think about this for a second. Companies like Spotify, Netflix, Uber, Airbnb, and Tinder all took the same first steps as you would need to take. And if you're familiar with the genesis of these companies, you would know that many of them started in somebody's home office or somebody's basement or somebody's garage. So, it's not about how small you are, it's just understanding the opportunity and equipping yourself with the tools to take advantage of those opportunities. Okay, so selling overseas can help your business in a variety of ways, including increasing profits and competitiveness, as well as helping to spark innovation. Selling globally can boost your business profile, both at home as well as abroad. And as you expand to new markets, you create a larger commercial footprint for your brand. So, a little mini exercise for you. Pause for a minute and think about these questions as it relates to your particular business, right? How might your business benefit from exporting? What kinds of products and services may you be able to export? And if this is a totally new concept for you, then think about the questions that you have, write them down, because hopefully at the end of this presentation, you will have some insight into how you can actually address those questions using Market Finder. So, what is Market Finder? I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of questions about how you, especially if you're a small business, can begin to sell globally. The great news is that Google's Market Finder tool, which is a free tool, can help you to answer many of those questions. So, what exactly does the tool do? Market Finder uses details from your business's website to recommend markets where consumers are most likely to buy your products based on research data. So, this is definitely data driven. You're then able to use those insights into the recommended markets to begin to create a marketing strategy to reach customers in the recommended locations. And of course, based on the recommended location, you will then select an initial target location that you will decide to move forward to. The tool also offers advice on operations such as taking payments in new markets, shipping, customs, licensing, as well as legal considerations, which are very important. So let's take a look at a small business who actually made this giant leap and did it successfully. The name of the business is Strider Sports. Now, the company founder, Ryan McFarland, modified a child's bicycle into what became the Strider, which is a pedal-less balance bike. And this kind of bike, if any of you have toddlers, I see a lot of the toddlers in my neighborhood using this bike. It teaches a really small child to become comfortable with balancing. And as a result, they learn to ride an actual bicycle a lot faster. So the bike received a lot of interest from other parents, and Ryan sensed that he was onto a really great business idea. In 2007, he launched Strider Sports International Inc. And 2 years later, Strider Sports started exporting products to Japan. Would you know? Today, Japan is Strider's largest international market. And Strider used Google tools such as Google Analytics, Google Ads, and YouTube as part of their global expansion strategy. According to the company, Google Ads drives nearly 30% of the company's online traffic, and its YouTube videos have generated over 10 million views. That is huge. Ryan says, and I quote, "The beauty of the internet is that even from the most remote locations, you can still be connected to the whole world." That's really powerful. So once you've decided to export, there are three major steps that you need to take. First, you have to determine where is the best market for your business. And a recent Google Business survey found that 70% of small and medium enterprises said that they felt that they lacked the skills needed to find the best overseas markets to enter, and that's understandable. Next, you will need to plan your operations. And if you're like 61% of exporters, you'd like some specific knowledge and support about how to do that. Finally, you need a solid marketing strategy to help you to scale your brand and expand across borders. So, in this session, we will explore those three steps together and go over some tools that can help you to be successful at each. As I said, Strider Sports used a lot of digital tools to support its export plan. And in this next section, we'll discuss some of those specific tools that you too can leverage to reach your business's expansion goals. First, let's get familiar with Market Finder. Now, if you're following along today, you can actually go through these steps with me on your computer. If not, no worries, just make some notes. And then later on, I'll share some resources as to how you can continue to upskill on this topic. So the first thing you would do is to go to g.co/market finder to use the tool. And over the next few slides, I'll give a brief demonstration of how you would use Market Finder. Once you've navigated to Market Finder, type the web address for your business. Remember that the tool analyzes your website, the information you have, the kinds of products that you have, and based on that information, this is how they make the recommendations. So on the slide that we're viewing together, you can see a large bar where you type your website address. And as you can see, Strider Sports has entered their address, and then next you would hit continue. Market Finder then searches for and analyzes details from your website to recommend the best markets for you to consider. After you've added your business address, simply click Get Started. Now, take a look at the categories. They reflect information based on popular online searches and the content on your website. And of course, if you're following along, you'll see this information. Market Finder will use this information to lead you to potential markets for your business. Now, you can delete any categories that don't really match your business or products, and you can also add categories that are a better fit. The tool shows other possible matches that could increase the number of markets where your business may be successful. When you're ready to move on, confirm your categories and press continue. Next, Market Finder will ask where you are interested in expanding your business. Is it within your country, so within the US, if it were me, or globally? So the screenshot that we're viewing shows a page with the heading, Where do you want to sell? And you see the options within the US or globally. Let's be brave today and see what happens when you select globally. Here you'll see a list of suggested markets that would be relevant as export options for your business. In the screenshot we're seeing, the markets recommended are Germany, the United Kingdom, and France. If you were to hover over each market, it would bring up a caption with additional information about the criteria and reasons behind the data, including how many monthly searches occur for products and services in the categories that you chose, how much advertisers are paying in cost per click, how friendly the market is to expanding businesses, and most importantly, how likely consumers in this market are to have disposable income. It does not make sense to expand a market even if there's a need, if there's not enough disposable income to actually support your business. At this point, you'll connect your Google account to go further into Market Finder, and this will be the Google account that's associated with your business, not your personal account. All right, so the image on the slide shows the heading that says Complete Your Profile. The box has been filled out with Strider Executive and the corresponding website address. A big blue button says Sign Up with Google. You will also have the option to receive relevant updates and other information from Google about events and research that can potentially help you to continue to grow your business. After you've completed and reviewed everything, click Get Started. You're on your way. Once you've signed in, you'll be able to take a closer look at the expanded list of your suggested markets. Again, on the screen, there are suggestions of markets including Germany, the United Kingdom, and France. You can then create a short list of up to 3 desired markets, and this will make it easier for you to compare your top choices. From now on or going forward, once you've made that selection, the content you see in the operations and marketing sections of Market Finder will be tailored to suit the markets that you have added to your shortlist. And of course, for everybody, you're going to make choices based on the kind of business that you have. So everybody's shortlist will be a little different. Now you have the ability to dive deeper into the 3 potential markets you've selected. Clicking on Country Profile gives you access to information such as population, languages spoken, age demographics, and currency. And this will all be compared to the US or to the home country that your business is located in. On this slide, the country profile is selected, which reveals the information on population size for the United States compared to the 3 recommended markets. Click on the Economic Profile tab to get information such as GDP, GDP per capita, GDP annual growth, household net disposable income, unemployment rates, as well as popular payment methods, and of course, much more. Next, you can see what online behavior is like in these markets. Really good information to know, such as what percentage of the population uses the internet, how many total internet searches are made each month, and the comparison between Android and Apple users. You'll also see recommended bids for Google Ads. The number is an indication of the average cost per click. And for those of you who are familiar with Google advertising or just advertising, online advertising in general, you would know cost per click is usually called CPC for related keywords in your chosen categories. A low CPC means there's a lower number of bidders. And what does that mean? That means that there's less competition for you. On the slide we're looking at together, online profile is highlighted, which reveals a bar graph comparing monthly searches across categories, right, among the United States, because in this case, the comparison, the home country is the US, and we're comparing these figures to Germany, United Kingdom, and France, which are the 3 recommended markets for Strider Sports. Since you'd likely be doing business with consumers in this market online, maybe initially to kind of test the waters, you'll want to know how they use the internet to purchase products and services. And that information can be found under purchase behavior, which is highlighted on the slide that we're currently viewing. Here, you can get information about what devices people use to research products before they buy. And the comparisons would be, are they using desktops, laptops, smartphones, tablets? Really good information to have. Did they use the internet to compare prices? Are they paying attention to online reviews? Or are they just kind of looking for background information? But the actual purchases are happening offline. Many of us use the internet strictly for research, and then when we're ready to make purchases, we still go to the traditional brick and mortar stores. You'll also get insights into what percentage of the population are actually making online purchases. Finally, you'll get lots of insights into the logistics of selling in these markets. This will give you an idea of things like costs that you might incur, very important, and the time that it might take to deal with regulatory issues, compliance, customs, transit, and all of the things associated with doing business across borders. Once again, you'll see these figures as they relate to your home country. Now that you've identified a few potential targets for exporting, let's look at what else Market Finder can do to help you with the operations planning involved in expanding to new markets. There's a lot to consider when expanding into new markets. And so you need to consider things like taxes, currency conversion. How about customer care? This will be a really exciting time, but planning will definitely be the key to being successful here. So the slide we're looking at shows the considerations for expanding operations. So we have things like localization, global payments, customer care, logistics, talent recruitment, and of course, taxes and legal. Market Finder can guide you through many of these operational areas that you'll need to consider by tailoring the content to match your shortlisted markets. I don't know if any of you are actually following along. The last time I did this presentation for GSE, there were a few people who actually went through the steps with me and got to a specific point, which I thought was really exciting. So if you are following along and you have your short list, click on operational areas and you'll see this highlighted on the slide. And here you will have access to these insights. In the next few slides, we'll take a closer look at some of the topics that you will have access to. Localization is definitely one thing that you should keep in mind as you export. You want to make sure that your products fit the language, culture, and customs of your target countries. And we can find many case studies of companies who should have known better but attempted to enter into foreign markets, didn't do the research, and did things like release offensive copy and packaging and images. Very important to respect cross cultural sort of norms if you're going to expand globally. You'll also need to know which payment channels are most commonly used in your new market or markets so that you can successfully manage global payments. Remember, different countries prefer different payment platforms. Customer care is another major consideration. You might even consider working with local customer care agents who really understand what the local customer is expecting in these new markets. You might also need a scalable CRM system, and CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System, to successfully manage customer care. Logistics also get more complex once you start exporting. You really need to plan on how to get your goods into your new customers' hands effectively and how you will handle things like returns. Again, you might consider working with local logistics companies who can help you to navigate the regulations, transportation, and other requirements that they would be more familiar with since they live in the actual country. You also need to consider recruiting talent in your new market. Having local experts on your payroll will help your products sell better and improve your profitability. Local talent can help you scale because they understand how business operates in their own country. Finally, take care to do your homework and get as much information as possible about things such as taxes, fees, customs, and regulations for exporting to those specific countries. These, of course, will vary country by country, and mistakes can lead to high fees and even legal action that you really want to avoid. Now, the good news is that there are lots of articles, case studies, and guides within Market Finder that you can access to help you dive deeper into these operational planning topics. All right. So if you guys are following along, feel free to make comments. I'll take a look before we go. We separate today, but think about the operations topics as they relate to your business that you will need to address before you decide to expand. Okay, moving along. How you market your business and scale your brand across borders is another really important consideration as you plan your expansion. The next section will show you how to use Market Finder to better understand how to support and build your brand's expansion marketing strategy. A solid marketing plan has a strategy and an understanding of how to measure performance. When you're expanding globally, trusted partners can be key to get the most out of your marketing plans. And so on the slide, we're seeing some considerations that you may need to pay strict attention to with relation to your marketing strategy, right? So you need a global marketing strategy. You need to think about how you will measure performance, advertising, and it's highly recommended that you find a trusted partner within that region to work with as you expand. So, how does this part work? Within Market Finder, you would click Market Your Business that we see highlighted on the slide. And here you'll be able to access tools, guides, and resources to help you market your business globally. Let's go over a few of the offerings really quickly. A global marketing strategy, also called a GMS, is a strategy that encompasses countries from several different regions in the world and aims to coordinate a company's marketing efforts in those specific countries. You'll be able to learn how other companies have done this by reading case studies. And the most creative marketing strategy is useless if you can't measure how well it's working, right? And there's a phrase that all marketers use: if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. So, we also recommend that you explore tutorials on how to use Google tools and other resources to analyze your performance and results. Now, there are three types of advertising that can play a big role in your global expansion efforts: there's search, display, and video. Luckily for you, Market Finder has detailed guides on creating successful campaigns in all three areas. Finally, as with operations, marketing your business across the globe may go more smoothly if you do what? Form strategic partnerships. And of course, the value of that is that those partners would already have the experiences that they can share with you to help you to become more successful. You can find agencies who have completed all international growth program trainings and have met customer objectives on Market Finder as well. So, this is a really amazing, robust tool that can actually give you a lot of information, a lot of the information that you need to make informed decisions so that you can move forward successfully. Okay, we're almost at the end of our time today, but I know I've covered a lot in this short time period, so I always like to finish off my presentations with a quick recap. So, today we've gone over a few basic steps for getting started with exporting, including choosing a market, planning your operations, and scaling your branding and marketing. So, what's next? Expanding your business and looking towards exporting to other countries, or even if you're expanding within your own countries, is a huge step. Today, business is becoming increasingly global, even for tiny businesses. If you aren't yet doing business in other markets, you may be losing out. So, you really want to start considering it. And chances are that your competitors are secretly on their way to achieving that goal if they aren't already there. Taking just one step after today, even if you just start thinking about some of the products that may translate across borders or some of your services, is a great first step. All right. And once you do so, experiment with the tool. So the first thing you would do is go to g.co/market finder, add your website address. So you need a website address for this to work. Learn about the potential markets for your business, develop operational and marketing strategies, and over time, this is not an overnight thing, you will be able to join other small businesses that are selling globally. All right, so these are your actionable next steps. Okay, now the third thing that you should do is to always keep learning. And in the next two slides, I'm going to share some more digital tools and tutorials that may benefit you as you consider expanding globally, or even if you're not ready yet, just for you to continue to expand your business and to market yourself effectively. Okay, so if you want to sharpen your business and marketing skills, check out Primer. This is a free app that's available for both Android and Apple devices that gives you access to a series of short, fun lessons that are less than 5 minutes each. Another great resource is Google's Quick Help videos, and you can check out the playlist at g.co/grow/quick help. And here you get answers and learn how to make the most of Google's tools in just a few minutes. Finally, to learn about all of the resources offered by the Grow with Google program, you can simply visit the main website by going to google.com/grow. Okay, you guys, that's my time. I hope that this was information packed and I hope that you guys learned a lot.